All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started. Just to let everybody know that this training is going to be recorded for those people who cannot join us in real time. So good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing? Good, good?
Good.
Excellent, excellent. So today we're going to be talking about Google Business Profiles. So the setup, the optimization, and lead generation portions of your business Google profile, Google Business Profile, however you want to say. So those of you who do not have a Google Business Profile for your real estate listings, you definitely should. So this is going to show you how to set that up, some things that you should do, and we're going to review why it's important. Okay, so just by a show of hands, who currently has a Google Business Profile for real estate? I do. Anybody else have one? Rebecca's got one?
I think I do. I just need to optimize it.
Okay, perfect. Well, we'll go over a little bit of that here as well today. So let's jump right into it. So why does it matter? Why does Google Business matter? Well, first, it's going to be for visibility. So Google Business Profile is the first thing that people see when searching realtor near me or for your name in a Google search. So those are the people that are going to pop up. And also for trust, a complete profile builds credibility with reviews, photos, and consistent information so that it shows that you are a real legitimate business instead of just some random person. So if somebody's going online, they don't know a realtor and they put in real estate agent in Newcastle, if you are pinned to Newcastle, you should be popping up if you have a Google Business Profile. Now, I get it. There's lots of other ways to search online. You know, there's lots of other search engines. There's lots of other ways. And sorry, I got to adjust my seating here. Lots of other ways that people can search for information. But I can tell you that Google overall has the most traffic. So you definitely want to make sure that you have a Google Business Profile. Now, I know that every time we talk about Google, somebody says, well, you know, Safari and Apple and all that. I get that. That's important too, just not what this training is about today. So we'll talk about that at a later time. But today we're going to focus just predominantly on Google itself. So first step is setting up your Google Business Profile. So if you don't have one, I'm going to go through the steps with you on how to set up your Google Business Profile. And this is going to show you step by step. So if you have two screens, if you have two computer screens, and you want to do this while we're on the training, I highly suggest you do so. Let me see, somebody's trying to buzz in here. Let's see. Nope, they're note takers, so they're gonna sit there. Or if you want to take a minute to rejoin this meeting on your mobile device and shut it down on your computer so that you can pull up Google on your computer while we're doing this training, just take a minute right now to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to give everybody a minute. So if anybody wants to jump off here and jump back in your mobile device so that you have two screens, go ahead and do that because we're going to go step by step. Okay? Don't see anybody pop off. So, all right, we're heading in. All right. So step number one is to create your profile. So you want to go to Google Business Profile Manager. You can Google search it. That's the beauty of Google. So Google Business Profile Manager, and you want to sign in with your business Google account. If you don't have one, you're going to go ahead and create one now. Okay, it's very, very easy to do. Some basic information like you're going to sign up for anything else. So go ahead and navigate over to Google Business Profile Manager and then either sign in or sign up for a user account. Doesn't cost you anything. All right, next you're going to come to a dashboard here, and at the top of your dashboard, there is this button that says Add Business. So you're going to go ahead and click Add Business. And if anybody needs me to wait longer, yell out, hold on, wait longer. All right. Once you create Add Business, it is going to pull up this screen that says Start Building Your Business Profile. So when you put on your business profile, you're going to use your name because that's your business name, and it should be the name that is registered on your real estate license. So it cannot be a fictitious name unless that fictitious name is registered. So an example of that is that James Swankler is a business name. However, if you can see from his icon says Pittsburgh Living. So Jim cannot register Pittsburgh Living as a business Google profile. It must be James Swankler, which is the legal name of his business. Okay. And then you're going to put comma and you're going to put Realty One Group Ultimate. After that, you're going to go ahead and choose your category. There's a lot of real estate categories in there, but what I want you to specifically select is real estate agent. There's real estate agency in there. That is not what you want. You want real estate agent. Once you do that, you can go ahead and click next. Step 2 is to include your business information. So you're going to have a couple pop-up screens that's going to happen. Do you want to add a location where customers can visit? The answer is going to be yes. You can go ahead and click yes so that it's getting your geographical location pinned into Google Maps, which will be searchable not only when somebody, internet queries, but also if somebody wants to type in the address for somebody on Google Maps. So if somebody puts real estate agent near me into their maps, you will come up with that pinned address. A lot of times I hear of other agents that come from other brokerages and they speak about other agents. And one of the things I have is that the brokerage, the manager of the brokerage changed the name of the brokerage on all the maps to such and such agent. Well, I can tell you that's not what happens. That's not what happens. The brokerage has a Google business profile, and each one of the agents that work there have a Google business profile. It's just that particular agent who's coming up first in the search queries just has more traffic or a more complete profile than maybe the broker does or the other agents in the office. So when somebody will search Realty One Group Ultimate, doesn't mean that my profile is going to come up first. It's going to be whatever profile is most complete, updated, and whichever one is driving the most traffic will be the agent that shows up before even the actual brokerage profile, right? So that's how that works. It has nothing to do with the broker, the manager, anything like that. It all has to do with marketing. So I'm teaching you how to do that now. If you want to show up first, whether it be in your office or in your location above even other brokerages, you want to make sure that your profile is set up right and complete. All right, so you're going to want to put in your address, whatever office address that is. So enter your business address. And for the example here, I have 701 North Hermitage Road. Make sure if there is a suite number connected to your address, put that in the street address line 2. And the reason why you don't want to do a comma with that is for Google Maps routing. Okay, so make sure that you're doing that for Google Maps routing purposes, and make sure it's on line 2. Okay. All right, perfect. Next, you're going to want to put in contact details. So as you know, when it comes to marketing, your broker name must be added with all of your marketing along with your own. Same thing with phone number. So just to set this up, and you can add additional phone numbers, go ahead and put in the brokerage number into the phone number area. Like I said, don't worry, you will have the ability to add your cell phone number as well when you edit your profile. Then go ahead and put the website URL. You can see that I used our main website here, but there's a slash after it because what I want you to do is put your extended URL there, meaning your name. So maybe that is rogultimate.com/Isabella.Hall. So whatever that is, whatever your URL is, make sure that you're putting in your URL so that you are driving traffic directly to your specific website and not to the general website. Because we all know what happens is when leads go into the general website, they may not get to you unless they mention you or select you individually. You want to make sure that your leads are uniquely yours. So when somebody goes to your specific website with your extended URL, fills out a form or requests a property tour, it goes straight to your email and it doesn't go anywhere else. I don't see it. Kat doesn't see it. Kathy doesn't see it. The only person that can see it is you. So you want to make sure you put in your extended URL. Next, you're going to have to select a way to get verified. Okay. And this is very important. So it's going to give you a couple options. One is phone call, one is email, and one is snail mail. And sorry, it cut off down here. Because you're putting in the brokerage number, it's hard to get a phone call unless you give Kat a call ahead of time and say, hey, if Google calls, can you give me the verification code? So, and that would be a pain in the butt. So do me a favor and click the email code. That's going to make it super easy. They're going to email you a verification code. You're going to plug it in and then you're verified. You're good. All right, next step is adding additional information. So next you're going to add your services. And I want you to be very careful but intentful here on adding your services. It's going to give you a lot of different options for adding services. Please do not go clickety-clicking them all, okay? And also, I don't want you to skip this step either because this is important. This is how people find you. This is how Google knows how to drive traffic to you as opposed to somebody else. You can see that one of the first options on there are appraisals. You are not an appraiser. Please do not click this button. Okay, that's bad news bear. Don't even step a toe on that because we are not appraisers. That's not what we do. But you can see one of the options is building lot sales. And if that's what you do, great, go ahead and click that box. If you've never sold a building lot, please don't click the box. Okay, because you cannot advertise to be a specialist in something that you have yet to do. So make sure you're not doing building lot sales. Buying agent services. I would say that everybody on this call qualifies as buying agent services. So go ahead and click that box. So be very intentional because you want to drive the correct traffic to you. And although one would think that we want all the traffic to come to us for all of the reasons, once your Google profile is optimized and you start advertising on Google and you have to pay per click or call off of Google, trust me, you will want to be very intentional with who you are attracting on Google. So you don't want to filter a lot of calls that says, hey, you know, I'm refinancing my house and I need an appraiser. Oh, well, I'm not an appraiser. Sorry, I can't do that. I can't help you out. Well, you may have just paid for that call to turn somebody away because you clicked a button that you shouldn't have clicked. So be very intentional when adding your services on Google. Next, add a business description. This should be a little bit, and you can copy and paste from your About Me if you want to. Don't make it too long. I think there's a cap on how many characters you can have there anyway, but you kind of want to give a description of who you are and what you do and the services that you provide. Again, like I've told you with your website, this is not an opportunity to go on there and say, I'm a mom, I have 2 of my own boys, and I have 2 stepchildren, and I have 3 dogs, and I have 12 chickens, and one of the chickens is named Lola, and I really love her. Like, that's, nobody cares. You know, you would want to put on there that Ebony Page is an experienced real estate professional covering Mercer and Lawrence counties, specializing in XYZ, blah, 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 blah. That's what that should say, writing that in third person and talking about what is valuable to the audience, not about what's valuable to you. So unless you're specifically only selling farms and houses with doggy doors, I would say that we would want to keep the whole chicken and dog comments out of the add business description box. And I know that I'm talking to an audience that knows this, but trust me, as I go through rosters on other people's brokerages, I see the About Me's over and over and over again. And I think to myself, this tells me nothing about who this real estate professional is. This tells me that the real estate professional likes to garden and likes motocross, but really that's not a prerequisite to help one of our clients buy their home. So I see this a lot and I just don't want anybody else to repeat it. All right, next, super, super important. You are going to share an image of the exterior of the property in which your license is hung. So in this example, it's 701 North Hermitage. So I would take a nice picture, maybe with me in front of it in my Realty One shirt, holding a sold sign or something and showing the outside of the building. And you're going to put that there, and that's going to become your profile photo. But Google does require that you have the exterior of the building to show that it is a real place before they will allow your Google profile to be live and searchable. All right. Any questions on setting up your Google profile? Somebody talk other than me. My mouth's getting dry. My voice is getting hoarse. No, I swear nobody wants to talk to me. All right. Let's talk about optimizing your Google profile. And it is a lot easier than you would think. So first thing is first is you want to go on and collect reviews on Google. It is one of the easiest ways to optimize your profile. So one of the things you can do is go right onto your dashboard after your profile has been set up, and you see this little area down here that I have circled that says ask for review. You are going to go ahead and click that, and then you will be able to go ahead and transfer a link to your clients to get them to review on your Google profile. There's a couple ways you can do this. Once you click that link, it's going to pull this up, and you can send this via email. You can send this in WhatsApp if that's an app you use, or you can send the link directly to somebody's Facebook page or share it on your own Facebook page. You can also copy this link and place this into your CRM. So if you have a already pre-designed campaign that goes out that asks for reviews, you can copy and paste this into the CRM and ask those clients to leave you a review on Google. If that's not something that you're doing currently in your CRM or as part of your post-closing follow-up, I highly suggest that you implement that right away, okay? There are other ways to go ahead and send that. And if you scroll the whole way to the bottom of this pop-up area that Google sends, there is a QR code here. You can go ahead and hold that on your phone or right-click it on your screen to save the image. And then you can go ahead and send that image via text message. You can send it in an email. You can also save it as a photo to your phone so that when you are with people at closing, you're able to open that image on your phone and say, would you mind leaving me a review? Here's my QR code. And it's as easy as that. This QR code can also be added to your advertising collateral as well, to your flyers, to your business cards, to your pamphlets and books, to sign riders, to whatever you want to collect those Google reviews. Now, if you are brand new, if you are new and you have no clients to share yet, a common question I get is, how do I get testimonials and reviews if I haven't sold a home yet? Well, there are a couple different types of testimonials that you can get. And what I suggest for new agents is getting character testimonials. Okay, hang with me for a minute. Character testimonials are a great way to start building your traffic and optimizing not only your Google, but your Facebook, your Instagram, whatever, wherever you are collecting your reviews on. So, people want to know, can they put their trust in you? Can you build rapport with them? Are you reliable? Are you safe to be around? Because, I mean, we're living in a crazy world right now, right? So I often suggest reaching out to past clients. I mean, we all have had a job or a career before coming into real estate. Real estate is usually not somebody's first career, although it could be. So reach out to those previous clients that you had, or your previous employer, or somebody that you did some type of business dealing with, and ask them for a review. Just let them know what it's for. Say, listen, you know, I've recently become a real estate agent and I'm looking to get some reviews on my Google profile so that people know that I'm not a crazy person, and that I actually really do a good job for my clients. Would you mind leaving me a character review? And then explain to them that a character review is not a review from the place that you were my client at, but it's basically a review of my character stating that I did a good job for you and what your overall experience is with me as a person, letting other people know whether I did a good or bad job for you and whether I was important in your life or not. So those are some things you can look into when you're just getting started, is get those character reviews out on Google and Facebook. It really does help to boost the algorithm to get more traffic to your pages. Next thing you want to do is you want to add posts and updates. So most people don't think of like Google as kind of a social media platform, but I can tell you that it works exactly the same way. So on your dashboard, you're going to have this area right here, and that's called posts. And I definitely want you to add post to your Google profile on a continuous and measurable basis. Remember how we talked about social media, and if you're not posting to Facebook regularly, if you're not posting to Instagram regularly, then the traffic starts to stop because the back-end algorithm knows who's posting and who's not, and if it's regular, and it'll basically just shut you down if you're not posting regularly, because then Facebook doesn't have anything to post ads to, and they want people on there who are very interactive on their site. Well, Google is exactly the same way. So you need to post on a consistent basis to your Google profile. And what are some things that we can post? We can post things just like we do anywhere else. We can post new listings. We can post open houses. We can post market updates. We can post tips for buyers and sellers. You can post literally anything that you're posting to social media. So if you're posting something to Facebook and then you're posting something to Instagram, I would suggest posting it to Google as well. All right, how do we do that? Click that little link and it's going to come up with a little pop-up box and it says add post. You click add post and it's as simple as doing a Facebook post, okay? But when you get this little pop-up, I've had people ask me before, like, I'm getting this pop-up. Yes, scroll to the bottom because sometimes it cuts off on the bottom of your screen depending on what your screen settings are. And the add post button is right there. Just thought I'd throw that in there. All right, next, what else should we be doing? I love this. It's called the Q&A section. In your Q&A section, you can fill with commonly asked questions or frequently asked questions, okay? Now, your contributors can also post questions to your Q&A board. So this is a great opportunity for you to reach out to your sphere of influence. It's a good touch point for them. Maybe reach out to your past clients, maybe reach out to the buyers who, you know, look at a house every once in a while, but maybe don't, you know, see houses on a continuous basis, and ask them to do a favor. I'm all about finding reasons to call people instead of like calling with the salesy line, like finding an actual reason to call people. So this would be a great one. And you can let them know, hey, I just did a Google business profile and I would love if you could be a contributor on my Q&A section. So here's a link to that. Please post a question and then I'm going to answer that question. Doesn't matter what that question is, just something that pertains to real estate. And then I'm going to go in and answer that question so that it builds out my Q&A. So what are some commonly asked questions that we can use? This could be first-time home buyer questions, staging tips, home facts, market rates, could be anything, really, anything. But I love if you would all have your sphere of influence kind of interact with you and be those contributors. And it's a really great way, and it's kind of makes it a fun way to get them all involved and drive that traffic back to your Google business page. Okay, it's all about driving that traffic in. Next is photos. This is where you can add your additional photos. So these photos can just be like literally anything that you want. They could be your headshots, your lifestyle photos, you setting up your open houses. A lot of agents do that where they'll do a cute little like basket and then they'll have the flyer of the house and they'll say, come in, look around, fall in love. And then they'll have, you know, with a little sign that has the agent's information on the bottom. Those are great little photos to share. Some other photos are, you know, photos of really stunning kitchens or faucet fixtures I used to post, really beautiful light fixtures. Historic properties get so much traffic. Let me tell you that I was posting, I had this one house up on Mercer Road in Newcastle, and it hadn't been touched for like, I don't know, 60 years. So I was going through the house and I did this little video and took a bunch of photos and I posted across all sites, whether, you know, it's Google, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and just doing this like things in a 1940s home that just make sense. And then I was showing all of the things like, you know, the wallpaper and then the fold down ironing board. And what else did it have in there? It had the laundry chute in like the kitchen for your kitchen towels. And then it had one in the bathroom too. And it had these like the ornate gas lights. They didn't work anymore, but they were decorative, like those things. And it had like the fireplace with the bookshelves. But if you pulled open the door, this desk, this writing desk, kind of popped out from beside the fireplace. It was really cool. And it had these like porcelain things. They were like these hands in the bathroom that came out. Like they were literally hands, and like you put soap in there, and they were like porcelain and really creepy. But anyway, okay, I'm going on. Squirrel. But anyway, I use this. I am still getting notification of traffics and shares from TikTok. I'm still getting likes from those photos on Google from my agent profile, which nobody even like rarely visits anymore. I'm still like, it's been my best producing social media thing that I've ever done. And I haphazardly did this. Like I was not in the mindset of like, I've got to find something to like seriously take off my traffic. It was just such a cool house. It was such a time warp that I just started snapping some photos and doing some videos. But that tells you how like you never know what's going to catch. You know what I mean? And I just started taking these photos and stuff just basically for my own brain because I thought the place was so cool. So anyway, post those photos. All right. Questions on optimizing your Google business. Is there any tips that anybody's currently doing that they could share for optimizing their page? No?
I like the idea about the Q&A though. I actually did Instagram Reel, and I had so I actually called my clients and I said, hey, listen, I need you to submit to me an audio text message with you asking a question about real estate. And then I used that for an Instagram Reel post, and it was pretty cool. I don't know. It was a lot of fun, but I like that idea of doing a Q&A though, on your profile.
Yeah, no, I love that idea. That's really cute. That would make a cute little video. It would make a cute little video, but it's great because it gets that person back into your site to see the video. And the same thing is true with Google Q&A, so that you can ask them like, hey, can you post a question? Doesn't matter what the question is, just as long as it's real estate related, here's the link. Like, can you do me a favor? And then I'm going to answer the question. It gets them to your page. And the more people you get to your page means the more that Google is going to push out your page. And that's going to rank you higher when people Google, real estate agent in Irwin. Then Jim will come up to the top, because he has that traffic, that recent traffic coming through his Google profile.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
It was really engaging. Like my clients were like flattered. They're like, oh yeah, like they were more than happy to give me a question. And then you could even like, if you didn't have to like do audio or reel, but like you could do just like a regular post, right? Here's a real estate question from one of my past clients, whatever, here's the answers. So.
Yeah. And you can upload videos to your Google profile as well. Just so that you know, there is a video option. I think they limit how long it is. Like a reel, you can only do so much, but you can upload those reels onto your Google profile as well. It's really come a long way. I mean, but anything you do is going to boost your traffic. So keep this in mind when you're thinking about social media, especially Google. Google is an advertising company. Okay. They do advertising. They sell data. That's how they make their money. So they want the ads, that people who are paying ads to be ranked on Google, to be placed beside other people or businesses with a lot of traffic, because they get paid per click per call. And the more people that are seeing it, the more clicks, the more pays that they're getting out. So Google is very smart that way. And they like to team up businesses with a lot of traffic against paying businesses. So the more traffic you can have going in, the higher your search ranking will become. Okay. All right. So let's talk about lead generation with the business, Google Business Profile. There's lots of things that you can do to make sure that you are getting all of your traffic. But one of the most important things you can do is click add chat and activate messaging on your Google profile. So I can tell you that as a business here, we do not have chat because we are a brick and mortar business. So we have to pay for a lot of our traffic, and we do. We pay for Google traffic, and that's part of the lead program that we have here. So when you see something that says call in or email lead or whatever, a lot of times that's through Google, is all of those call in leads. So we advertise on Google, our profile, our website, and our listings to get people to pick up the phone and call. So that's how we get so many calls into the office, when traditionally brokers usually don't have a ton of call-ins unless they're calling in off of a sign. But since I'm not an individual person on my profile, I am a brick and mortar company, you know, an imaginary entity that is not a real person. I am not able to add chat because it's coming to a landline. You guys can. So that gives you a leg up. And that's what I was talking about. Sometimes agents' profiles at brokerages will show higher in the rank than the brokerage itself. This is how that happens. Okay. So in your dashboard, you need to go to the messenger function and you need to turn on and activate your messaging. Okay. Super, super important. Turn on your messaging. That way clients can click your profile and say, send a message, and then they can literally start texting you from the page that they're on. Okay. Clients can also message you directly from a Google search as well as Google Maps. So let's say that somebody is searching, they're out there in their car and they're like, okay, I don't know the area really well, but I'm relocating from somewhere and I want to buy a house in New Brighton. So I'm going to go into New Brighton real estate. And then all of a sudden, Mary Brian Sesko pops up. Okay. They can actually click the button to then send Mary Brian Sesko a message directly from the car or call her directly. Okay. It is important to reply within 24 hours of receiving any messages in order to have better ranking. So it is important to make sure that you are getting back to them and that you're notifying Google that you have gotten back to them. All right. Second thing you could do is complete your profile. Make sure that your profile is complete and connect all of your social media pages. The more of these items that you fill in, the better ranking you will have and the more organic leads you will have from Google. All right, next, if you want to check your performance, because Google is a little harder to check your performance. So you will get a lot of calls and messages, and sometimes you may not know where they're coming from. So it's definitely important to go in and check your performance once a month at least. And this will tell you how many times Google has routed a call directly to you. So when somebody calls you from Google, unless they put in the number manually, if they just click to call, it's going to come over and it's going to look like a normal call. It's not going to say, hey, this is being transferred from Google. It's not going to be like Zillow where it says, we're going to connect you. It's literally just going to come from the person with their caller ID on there. You're not going to know. So I know a lot of people will say, well, I advertised on Google, but it's not really working. But you don't know if it's working unless you go in and check your performance. So definitely go in and check your performance. It's also a great idea if you want to check what your website clicks are, what your direction requests are. That way you can make adjustments to your profile. You can add more photos, more posts, what maybe you want to advertise on Google to boost your rankings really quickly. But checking your performance on Google is a must. All right, so how do we boost your Google ranking? Okay, so to boost your ranking, organically without paying, these are the tips that I have, and that's post weekly, keep your info updated at all times, add at least 10 to 15 photos. So if you're going to be ranked at an average ranking, I'm not even talking a high rank, just average ranking, you must have 10 to 15 photos on your Google profile for them to even consider putting you in front of people unless they're specifically Google searching your name. Gather reviews consistently. So you want to aim for at least 2 to 3 new reviews each month. All right, here is an ongoing maintenance checklist. Some things you should be doing and checking monthly. Post 1 to 2 updates. So that's a listing, open house, or local event. And that's the minimum, not the suggested. This is the minimum. Post 1 to 2 new updates. Add new photos. of closing pictures, community highlights. I mean, go wild with it. You guys all do social media now. Just add this as part of your social media. You want to respond to all of your reviews. Okay, so somebody will leave a review for you on Google, and what you should be doing is going in there and replying. If it is a good review, you want to just go in and say, thank you so much, Jennifer, for your amazing review. I really appreciate you coming on here and saying such kind words. It's customers like you that really bring joy to my profession. I wish you all of the wonderful success in the future, whatever you're gonna put on there, okay? If it's a negative review, you want to respond. You want to respond to that review. We all get negative reviews. You will all have a negative review at some point in your life. It's just part of being in business. It's part of the internet. But you definitely want to respond to that negative review and see if there's something that you can do to make it right. So let's say that somebody puts on there, I called such and such and they never called me back and they're really hard to get a hold of and I wasn't able to see the house in time, blah, 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 blah. I would respond and say, oh, hey, James, I'm so sorry that you had a negative experience. I'm not, I was unaware that you were having that problem and I'd love to make that up to you. Please give me a call and I'd like to make this right. Or whatever you're going to say. But it is important to respond to those negative reviews. It is important to thank those who give you a good review. So check your insights for your search trends and make adjustments as needed. Make sure that you have your service areas and update your keywords if needed. Any questions on this? No? All right. A few other tips and tricks. Use local keywords. So when you're doing whether you're doing your description or whether you're putting in your post or whether you're adding keywords to your profile, make sure that they are local keywords. Don't make them too broad or you're going to end up attracting people from like Arizona to your profile. And obviously you are not licensed in Arizona, you are licensed in Pennsylvania. So you want to make sure that they are local specific to you because you want to be attracting the right traffic. So instead of using a word like realtor, use Pittsburgh realtor or Beaver County homes for sale. Highlight your niche services. So first-time home buyers, veterans, relocations, luxury homes, whatever that is to you. Share your Google business profile posts on Facebook and Instagram for extra reach and encourage clients to search your name on Google and leave a review right at closing. All right, that is all I've got for you today on Google Business Profile setup, optimization, and lead generation. What questions do you guys have? Nothing. Who's going to go out and do a Google Business Profile today?
Just did it.
Just did it? Great. I love that. Good job, Kev. Ebony's going to set one up. The answer should be all of you. All of you should be setting up your Google Business Profile. If you already have one, please go in there and make sure that all the information is correct and that you're optimizing this as well. There's lots of different things that you can do. And if you're not really good at Google Business, at the business profile, open your ChatGPT. Tell it, hey, I am a real estate agent in this area. I just set up my business Google profile. How do I optimize it to get the best traffic? And it'll pump you out a list of what you should do. Okay. Or you can even give it the URL for your profile and say, can you take a look at this and let me know what I need to change and how I need to make this better to get more traffic to my profile. And ChatGPT has come a long way. So you will be surprised on the information it can provide. Anybody else have anything to share? All right. Well, hey guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I hope you found some value out of this training. If I don't see you before this evening, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. But don't forget that Mark has a happy hour in Rochester today at 4 o'clock. So please stop by, see our amazing partners, and commingle with your amazing agent partners. And I will hopefully see you there. As always, I will be staying on the line. I'll just be quiet. So if you need me after the meeting, please feel free to hang back and we'll take a moment to chat. But if not, have an amazing rest of your day.